Right now on Denver 7 News, one person is dead after a shootout with Aurora police. The investigation now underway as the city works towards naming a new chief to lead the department. A big Sunday in store for sports fans and businesses alike. The Broncos, Avalanche, and the Rockies are all gearing up to play later on today. How bars are prepping for the perfect storm. A push to beautify one Denver metro neighborhood and honor one of its former all-star residents. The project you can participate in today to change the face of Park Hill.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. I'm Jessica Crawford. Welcome to Denver 7 News.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday morning. Let's start by giving you a live look over in Power Field. Mile High, it is quiet there right now, but it will be full of people before long later on as all those head out to tailgate before tonight's game. Kickoff 6:20 against the 49ers. Outside this morning, it's sunshine across the state. A crisp, gorgeous start to our morning here across Colorado. Not too much going on, very little cloud coverage, and it's going to stay quite quiet and dry through the day. Outside right now, it's cool with temperatures in the low 40s. Denver, Centennial, and Castle Rock. Boulder right now at 46 degrees and only in the low 30s up near Fraser, Berthoud Pass, and Bailey. And later on this afternoon, it is going to be quite seasonal for this time of the year. 50s and 60s return to the mountains with 70s here across the plains. Here's a peek at Futurecast taking us through the morning. Mostly clear skies, very light winds. They'll pick up a touch, especially over the northeastern plains later on, cooling us down with highs only in the low 70s north and east. 6 o'clock, right around kickoff time here in Denver, will be in the low 70s. Temperatures will drop to the 60s and 50s throughout the course of the game, so it's going to be a pretty nice evening for football.
Denver police are investigating an Aurora officer-involved shooting that killed one person. Aurora police say yesterday afternoon, officers were pursuing a stolen car with 3 people inside of it. When they finally made contact with the group, police say one of the suspects ran across Alameda and pulled out a gun. 2 of the officers shot the man. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, where he later died. One of the other suspects inside the car was taken into custody. No Denver officers were involved, but the shooting occurred within the boundaries of Denver, so DPD will be the lead investigating agency in this case. Aurora police also arrested this man for reportedly carrying a gun inside the children's hospital. Police say Jeremy Tate entered the building through an employee entrance. He had 6 outstanding warrants, including 3 felonies. Tate is also charged with possession of a weapon by a previous offender, possession of an illegal weapon, and possession of a large capacity magazine. And this all comes as the city of Aurora looks to name a new person to take over as police chief and to lead the department. Police Chief Vanessa Wilson was fired in April. This was over concerns about her management and leadership. Former Chief Dan Oates then took over as interim chief. The city has now settled on 2 finalists for the job. The first finalist is Scott Ebner. He has worked for the New Jersey State Police for about 27 years, where he's now Deputy Superintendent of Administration. Ebner previously worked for the Cape Coral Police Department in Florida. And the second finalist is Albuquerque Police Chief of Staff David Franklin, and he also serves as a law enforcement instructor. Before, he worked for the Texas Department of Public Safety for 25 years. A third finalist withdrew from consideration, and the city says that they may look for semifinalists for reconsideration. Finalists are interviewing with the mayor and the city council on Wednesday.
All right, your Denver Broncos are set to take on the San Francisco 49ers tonight at Empower Field.
Oh, how exciting. But they are not the only ones that are playing today. The Rockies will play the San Diego Padres at Coors Field this afternoon, and the Colorado Avs are on the road taking on the Minnesota Wild for their first preseason game. Basically, all Denver sports right now. Denver 7's Brandon Richard is live downtown in the Ballpark District with why a day like this is so important for our businesses, Brandon.
Yeah, that's right. It is an exciting day for Denver sports fans, a perfect way to wind down the weekend with all 3 of those teams in action later today. Of course, it's also an exciting day for businesses. Businesses like Society, Sports, and Spirits. This is one of the many places that sports fans like to gather and hang out, and they're expecting a large crowd today. In fact, the manager told us they did all of their hiring in August, and now is their time to shine.
I love the fans of sports, and I feel like that's what makes my world go round. That's what puts bread and butter on the table for all of us.
Now, the Rockies will get things started playing at Coors Field at 1 o'clock this afternoon. The Broncos kick off their game at 6:20 tonight at Empower Field. And finally, the Stanley Cup champs, the Avs, play their first preseason game at Ball Arena at 7 o'clock tonight. Society Sports and Spirit says it has plenty of TVs for you to watch all three games. In addition to that, they're also opening early, 10 o'clock this morning, so you can gather to watch all those games with your fellow Denver sports fans. It ought to be a lot of fun. We're live in downtown this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
A lot going on. Thank you, Brandon. And Denver police, they are prepared for all of the games today, and they're asking you to take some basic precautions. Plan ahead for a safe, sober ride to and from the stadiums or wherever you'll be watching the games from. You can also use RTD to get around town or carpool with friends to minimize the amount of cars on the road. Police also suggest getting where you need to be early, as heavier traffic is expected all today in the downtown corridor. And while sports will help drive traffic to these businesses, downtown Denver is still struggling to keep many stores around, as pre-pandemic shopping levels, they still haven't returned to normal.
Denver 7's Rob Harris explains a new program hoping to give new businesses a big break.
The program's called Pop-Up Denver. It's run by the Downtown Denver Partnership, and the offer is pretty straightforward. Essentially, any small business that's willing to occupy a currently empty storefront on 16th Street Mall can get at least 3 months of free rent, plus a stipend for their marketing and design costs if they're selected. 5 businesses were chosen for Phase 1, and now 10 more will be chosen for Phase 2. I talked to 2 very impressive entrepreneurs who were this close with Phase 1, and now they're hoping Phase 2 is their lucky shot.
It looks delicious.
They've already got their jingle.
Sisters, sisters, we got the codes. Whenever you eat them, you've got soul.
And they're already selling boxes and boxes of their delicious treats online.
People order 100.
But 11-year-old Charlize and 13-year-old Zaire Hawkins have their sights set on downtown Denver. And they're not going to stop until they have a storefront to call their own.
We want it to be colorful so a lot of people can see. There'd be little kids seeing oh my gosh, Mom, can we come back here? Because it would probably make them really happy to see other children doing their own thing.
The Hawkins sisters applied for the first round of Denver pop-up business grants earlier this year, and they were among the top finalists. And now that Phase 2 of the program's been announced. So you guys planning to try again?
Yes.
It's a lot of work, creating their dream business from the ground up, while still getting all their schoolwork done.
How many eggs did you put in? 3.
But they have a vision, not only for themselves, but for Denver.
There's a lack of diversity in Colorado, and we want to make a change, and there's a lot of room for us to do that.
We're little black kids, and most little black kids don't really have their own business.
We want to just inspire people to be their own CEO, just like us, and we can make a difference.
The Hawkins sisters and others who are interested are already working on their business pitches because the Downtown Denver Partnership plans to accept applications for Phase 2 starting in February. For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
Gosh, those girls smart and multi-talented.
Their singing voices, too, just off the charts. Good for them, little entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we got to get those cookies. Well, still to come, the start of fall was just 3 days ago, but it's already time to start thinking about winter flu season. What Colorado doctors say you can expect from the virus and how you can best keep your family healthy this year.
But first, as we prepare for beautiful weather in Colorado today, our friends in Florida are bracing for Hurricane Ian. The impact of this storm expected statewide after Hurricane Fiona just hit people living in the Caribbean all the way up through Canada.